All right, so you want to read off of Lauren's team? We'll start at the top and go down.
Oh yeah, I mean that's.
Just remember, our division has the most wins.
I say let's start with running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, quarterback, and then we could quickly go through the bench and flex.
Yeah, sure. So just a quick recap of just Lauren's team is Cam Newton. His starters are Cam Newton, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Derek Waller, Keenan Allen, and bench is Lindsey, Moss, Anderson, Fant, McGill, Harry, Hardman, Fitzgerald, Cardinals D, and Debo Samuel. So just looking over at it, you said let's start with the running backs. He has some of the most solid running backs, I think, on any team.
He has
with
the ground and pounders, those guys who are going to get 20 to 30.
Yeah,
Just touches, not passes. Touches.
So
per game.
those are the ones that you have a high floor with.
Yeah.
Very high floor. So that's maybe not the greatest upside. You think that, but I mean Derrick Henry, number 2 overall? So I mean there is upside there, but he definitely has the highest floor with that.
Yeah, and look at him. We're looking at his stats. He had 303 attempts, rushing attempts last year.
That's a lot of wear and tear, though. Is he going to make it to the season?
Yeah, but he's kind of been that guy. I mean, you can't go into fantasy football. You can about some players with injury. Fuller, we'll get to him.
Dalvin Cook.
Stuff like that. But he hasn't been hurt, so it's like, I don't know. Can you pull up his? He missed one game last year, apparently.
Wasn't that the week that they benched him or rested him before the playoffs?
It might have been against New Orleans, it shows. And then following week after that, he had 32 touches for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, his last game of the year was his biggest game. So that might be adding on to a lot to him right there. I never noticed that.
Should have lasting impression of him for the season.
Exactly. And,
everybody was scared of him last year. I think Lauren drafted him 5th last year or something.
Something like
fifth round.
Yeah, that's what I look. And the previous year he was really bad. But the last year impression, we'll get into it with Hoser's team with Gallup later on the next podcast. But those stats at the end of the year, they could really boost up a player. He's definitely been top 10.
Yeah.
But 32 touches for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. 45 points. Best game of the year.
But you're still drafting him is the number 7 overall guy.
First
Very
easily.
Very high floor. So you're going to get a safe player. You're not going to be. The whole thought is you don't lose you can't win it in the first round, but you can definitely lose it. And
I heard that somewhere before.
Tom saying.
I know, I'm kidding. It's because I heard it today on the podcast.
Ah, did you? So anyways, so that's what you don't want to lose. And Derrick Henry is a guy who you are not going to be losing with. Joe Mixon is another high upside guy. Very much, huge potential, especially in the second half of the season. He had like a monstrous breakout. His first half was near droppable, but going in the second half, monstrous and everything.
Yeah, so if we look at his stats from last year, they had a bye week at week 9. So before that, so from weeks 1 through 8, his highest touches were 19, and that was his best game with 93 yards. Then after the bye week, week 10 and on, he got his first game against Baltimore, 30 touches for 114 yards. And then you just see his numbers go up 15, 18, 19, 23, 25, 21, 26 to end it. So all 20 plus at the end of the year. They obviously changed their game plan.
Which changing the game plan, but you also have to think that before that they had Andy Dalton throwing the ball. Now that they have one of the highest rated professional ready quarterbacks coming out of college with Joe Burrow, you get your stud AJ Green back. I mean, your team is just looking that much more for the passing game. It's going to be a lot less 8-man boxes, a lot less stacked up front, and he is going to be carrying it. The biggest concern that I would have with him is they have not used him as a pass catcher. So that's where the hope is that he can get back with pass catching.
So would you agree they're kind of getting the Bengals are kind of getting the hype of the Browns last year?
Yeah,
I feel like it's they got maybe not the wide receivers, but they get this quarterback in there. They got the running back. And Chubb had a great season last year. even with Hunt coming back, he's still top 15. So what I'm saying is like, there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of potential with this Bengals team.
Well, they'll have AJ Green back. But also, if you look at his stats, Mixon's, he's very touchdown dependent on those high scoring ones. I mean, this one, he had 21 rush attempts against Miami, the Dolphins. He had 50 yards rushing with 21 attempts. Look at those attempts. 30 attempts to get 114 yards.
And, he's
17 for 66 yards.
1, 2, 3, 4 games over 100 yards.
And it's very touchdown dependent. Even like he had 4 receptions against Pittsburgh last year for 1 yard.
Yeah, but look how many touchdowns he has. He has
He has
10 total touchdowns?
No,
I
he had
think so.
9.
5. He had 5 touchdowns.
Well, and receiving, he had 3.
Receiving, he has 3, so 8.
He's very touchdown dependent.
So which is kind of weird. So if you look at his stats,
It's nothing that great.
1
when
through
you're looking at it.
weeks 1 through 8, where he's really bad on rushing, he had no rushing touchdowns,
No,
but he had 3 receiving touchdowns.
but how many
Week-
receptions?
Week 10 through 17, he has no receiving touchdowns, and then 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
So who knows what their game plan?
it's not like he's
I
getting.
see he could do both,
Yeah,
but what are they going to use him for? I think it's going to be the workhorse. And to have that kind of workhorse where it's giving you 20 plus touches, attempts, rushing attempts, not even catches,
yeah.
a game as your RB2.
That is dominant. It
That's
is one of the best.
He gets the
1-2
attempts. If he can do something with them, that'll make a difference.
It is probably one of the best 1-2 punches. I think that's gonna be so loud. Hey, Neil wants to say hi. But best 1-2 punches I think out of anybody over there. Now going on to and just looking at his backups, just to get a complete picture.
Oh, we could go through the bench quickly at the end, right?
I just figured just to get a complete depth of it.
Philip Lindsay.
So Lindsay and Moss is big 2 backups over there. So Lindsay, I think, is going to be a good guy that you can plug in, and then Moss is your upside guy. So I mean, he has a little bit of floor and also
Yeah, I
upside.
definitely heard a lot of hype around Moss. But I know they're putting their marbles into Singletary over there.
The vulture.
So it's like, but we could talk about all of the rookie running backs besides maybe Taylor is going to go like under the same thing. I'm hearing a lot of hype, hearing a lot of good things.
Yeah. So I think with the backups, he has a safe floor with Lindsay and upside with Moss. So.
Yeah, which is kind of really smart. I mean, Lindsay, they haven't said he wasn't the starter yet.
Yeah.
Denver is still saying.
Gordon, his
He said he was
looking-
struggling with the playbook and that he's struggling with the altitude.
Yeah, stuff
So-
like that. And I think he had a small injury or something.
Yeah, they.
Something small. But anyways, Lindsay's rushed. He's been in the league for 2 years, and he's rushed over 1,000 yards per time, or each time. So, he's not he's a great backup by week guy. I would say.
Yeah.
For now, we'll see what Gordon takes away from him.
So great.
So,
Great, pretty good backups with that. So running back, I'd probably list him as A.
yeah, sure. I mean, we could do the whole team
He's a
later.
plug and
But his wide receivers is the guys I really want to talk about.
All right.
His wide receivers, you are gonna score 250 points one of these weeks. Because there's gonna be 1 week where both these guys fucking hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, Mike Evans 45, Cooper 45, and it's
And they're gonna throw donuts up the rest of the year. Like he
One at a
did.
time, Rubo. One at a time.
And so I was looking, at everybody's team, and I'm like, Mike Evans and Amari Cooper. We'll get to the rest of his team, but I'm scared of that. I would be
On
definitely.
any week, he can, like how you said, put up 250 points, but on the flip side of that,
He's gonna score some 70-point weeks.
there is going to be some super low weeks. I mean, it is the definition of boom or bust. I mean, I should have probably traded Lauren Will Fuller because that is like the perfect picture of
Those are the
boom
two.
or bust.
Those are the 2 wide receivers where they're gonna. They're the boom or bust. They're gonna score super high or super low.
Now, now you say that, but Tom Brady is now the quarterback for Tampa. Do you think Mike Evans can be more consistent with Tom Brady?
I would imagine. I would think so. I think it's not going to be those. I don't think he might not be that boom or bust player anymore. He might be that consistent 1,000 yards, but Brady loves his tall, wide out. You know, I could see him being his touchdown guy.
Edelman. He loved Edelman.
Edelman was his slot receiver. It wasn't Gronk was
Yeah.
his touchdown guy.
Yeah.
And Hernandez, RIP, was throwing touchdowns too. But yeah, I think Mike Evans could be a little more consistent, but I would have to go back to 2018 to see his stats, and 17. I think he's always been this.
Yeah, so historically he's been boom or bust with that, but he's always put over that 1,000 yards. He's one of the ones who's only done it for the past 6 seasons. I mean, he's been dominant. So I don't think that with a quarterback who turns over the ball a lot less, that you're going to expect anything less from that. Amari Cooper also has a little bit of upside, taking away a little bit of those double teams away from him, adding CD Lamb over there, the high upside with that. You can't stack, a double team him all the time up there because you also have stacked a little bit of the box with Zeke. I mean, so he has that. I do fear Gallup taking a step forward.
Yeah.
I'm a big Gallup fan where I think that,
with Gallup, I'm a big fan of him too, but I feel why I'm a Gallup fan is because these podcasters, and it's just the ADP of the two players is why I'm a huge fan of him. Gallup's going at crazy value, so that's why I'm a big fan of him. But you look at Gallup, just like Henry, his biggest game was it was like, I forget how many yards, 3 touchdowns, Why I wanted to go back to Mike Evans real fast, 3 of his games, I forget the exact stat, it was like 40 or 50% of all of his points last year. Heard that somewhere.
I just hope that it's not in week 1.
I do.
So, Keenan Allen, going to the rest of the team, Keenan Allen is a good flex. I mean, he has the potential for being high upside with all that, but I worry about him.
There's a lot of hype right now. What's his name? Williams.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
They are
Mike
hyping
Williams.
up Keenan Allen right now. There's some people saying he's a top 5 wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if he went number 1. I'm like, great. But I see him being top 10. I think he's still a safe wide receiver. I think he's a wide receiver 1.
It's a little bit disrespectful or saying it about a veteran, but I see him being like a DJ Moore was last year. You have a crappy quarterback, which I expect Tyrod to be not as good. Where I could see it just being volume over there because Mike Williams is out. Boom, boom. But they also have a lot of other pieces, like Eckler could put up monsters, but so did McCaffrey. So I think DJ Moore is going to be like his comp last year, and if he does that, that will be great for where you're getting his ADP at, or his, where you draft him at.
Look at his receptions last year, 104.
Yeah.
I think that's tied for second, maybe third. I know only Michael Thomas, and I believe maybe one other player. Hopkins got 104 last year. He can handle it. Is he going to get that? No. No way. But they got to throw it to somebody.
I think that they're going to be one of the slowest, worst offenses in the league.
I think they got a good offense with a really good defense. I think they're going to surprise you. The whole Charger teams will surprise you. It's all dependent on Tyrod Taylor. That's what it's come down to. What do we got in him?
And I don't believe in him. I'm
I
out.
don't think he's horrible.
But we'll see.
Mia's in.
That face looks like she's out. So, depth pieces, looking at Rodney Anderson, which is a backup now for Carolina. N'Keal Harry, Hardman, I think,
I like
is
Anderson. Sorry, to go back.
Oh, do you?
He had a stretch. Maybe it was not last year, but the year before. He got a lot of targets.
Yeah, because he was the number 1.
He's not bad. He's a decent wide receiver. He's on a new team. I feel like there's potential for him.
So the reason why he went over to Carolina is he played for Matt Rule in college, so he went back to playing with his college coach, so he knows the system. So there is potential there, which I do get. And then the biggest upside with his bench, Deebo Samuel. I mean, you draft him late. He drafted him late, and he has huge upside. They have nobody else. Everybody going down over there. Even their second year, Jalen Hurd went down. So they have to throw somebody else besides Kittle. So he is going to be a monstrous piece. Just hopefully not week 1 again.
And he has Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry
Way to go, dude.
Hey, Homer.
Hardman. Who's the other wide receiver for Kansas City?
Hopkins.
No, there's another one. He was a rookie last year, I believe.
Hardman.
Yeah.
What is that, Hardman?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Who was super hyped and everything.
He's super fast, right? 4.3 or something like that. 4.33 or something like that. I like it. I like it. If one of those, one of the top 2 guys out, watch him jump up there.
All right.
she doesn't want to think like that.
Cam Newton.
Oh yeah, quarterbacks.
Medea.
If he's not hurt, he's at 90% what he was a couple years ago.
He has top 5 upside.
I guess that would be
With
his
rushing?
ceiling.
Yeah.
5. I would put him at 5. I can't see him being better
Why?
than because
With having the best coach in the game, why can you not?
the wide receivers.
Okay. Tell me what wide receivers he had over in Carolina.
Yeah, but how young was he?
Doesn't matter.
That was his rookie year. that
He's
you're
still
thinking about.
no. He had
When
a
he was
Super Bowl.
when he was the number 1 quarterback for fantasy football. That was his rookie year.
He also had another one repeat 2016 in the Super Bowl run. He's had consistently top 5 performances with little to no wide receiver help.
Yeah, but you're saying when he was
Net
at 100%. He's definitely not the same 100%.
He
He's
had-
at 90. I would say 90% is his max
Yeah.
that he could be at,
and that's
and
that's a top 5 potential player.
and that's 5. I don't see Jackson. I don't see at least four maybe. Jackson, Mahomes, and Dak.
Of course, you see that.
Dak. Oh man, Dak. I'll get to him next week.
You vultured him for me.
Tomorrow. Yeah, Cam Newton. Let's see what pick you got him at.
Yeah, super late. I mean, you can see
101st pick. Yeah, great pick.
very last starter to be taken. Great high upside. I love it.
What's his floor?
His floor is that he doesn't start, and that they actually, I mean that Stidham, because they talked all season that they wanted Stidham to go. So I mean, he has a low floor. He can be.
What do you think his floor is?
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
He gets injured again, and
Well, yeah.
that's
Can't
his
talk
floor.
injuries, though. Yeah. of
No,
course.
that's his floor. He has that huge upside. That's why I got Andrew Luck for him the 1 year, or traded Andrew Luck.
Bring
for
out
him.
the trade. Nope, trades off, trader.
Oh, I won that deal because Andrew Luck never played.
Yeah, I know.
But Cam Newton can be a monster if, but he's also older than he was those years ago.
Yeah, I bet you he gets a handful of rushing touchdowns if he can stay healthy, and I don't see him throwing for a bunch of touchdowns. So.
No, but you hope for those rushes.
Yeah.
All right, and then Derek Waller, the Walrus.
A lot of people are hating on him. I don't know why. I'm on him, but I guess they're saying just a freak season. Let's look at his stats.
Freak season. I don't think he had the most touchdowns. The reason why they use him like crazy is because they didn't have anybody else to throw with. Now you're adding 2 rookies over there who just got like hyped like crazy. I mean, they drafted the first rookie receiver overall.
Yeah.
Then it's not even him that they're talking about like crazy. It's Brian Edwards, who they're hyping up, who's even saying he's better than him. On top of that, they're having all these other players on top of Tyrell Williams also got hurt, but
the number 2 last year. Number 2.
I know.
Better than George Kittle.
I know. I wish
Was
I
George Kittle hurt at all last year?
I
don't
wish
think
I had
so.
him on my team.
You did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know.
But my whole thing is, didn't they say they're going to try to get Josh Jacobs involved in passing game too?
That's probably a big part. I would say
I
that's
think
probably
that'll affect
it's gonna be a rushing. It's gonna be Jacobs, fuck Casey. It's gonna be Jacobs all the way. They're gonna be,
Trade me, Casey.
you know, that team that rushes. It's gonna be him.
So
he got 90 receptions last year. That's insane.
because they don't have anybody else to throw to.
That's
And they
insane.
recognize that, and they went out and they drafted 2 receivers, and they're going to target them like
Rookie
crazy.
wide receivers though.
Yeah, but they are still going to target them like crazy.
I like it, Warren. I like it. You want to trade? Let me know.
All right. So overall, how do you grade this team?
I like it a lot. I'd be super scared to play it in the playoffs because of his wide receivers. And I see, you know, without injury, the quarterback's on the weak side, but his wide receivers they could be getting you a win just by themselves. I feel like I like that because his running backs are safe players, his wide receivers are boom players, and the rest are kind of like, you know, steady. You know, sure they'll have some low weeks, but it's the low week for Lauren. It's the lowest of lows. It's the high week. It's the highest of highs. You
So
know,
what do you grade, and what's your record projection?
oh, man, that's tough.
What are we gonna do, like a star system, 4 out of 5 or something like
No,
that?
just A, B, C, D. What do you rank?
I'm gonna say like 8 and 5, 9. I definitely see him making the playoffs. I'm probably gonna say that about everybody's team because everybody drafted a good team.
All right. Well,
So it's hard to say for me. 8 and 5, 9 and 4 type of season. B plus, A minus. It'd be nice to have some more solid, safer wide receivers, but he's gonna win games.
all right. So I see the wide receivers booming half the time, busting half the time. I think that they're going to boom more often, but I think with that, he's going to end up with right around that 50%, that 500. So I'm going to say 7 and 6 and B plus though. He's going to be scaring a lot of people and going to the semifinals. Ruvo?
I haven't looked at who he's actually against.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah,
fun.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean we're against everybody.
Yeah.
well,
So just,
no, but that's
You
what
play
I'm
your
saying.
conference twice and then
Yeah.
you play everybody else once.
But I haven't looked at all their actual schedules for this year to say if
Just-
they're going to boom or bust.
Oh,
but I would
okay.
say that he could go 7 and 6 or 6 and 7 just because of his wide receivers. Because those weeks he
so
could
what
be.
grade do you have?
I give him a B.
All right. So B plus, B plus, and B, and 7 and 6, 6 and 7, and 8 and 5. All right. So let's make the next one a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I know this is gonna be such a long podcast. There's no way the guys are watching any
No,
of
they're
this
not.
right now. We are literally
We're-
talking to ourselves.
Yeah,
But it,
I'm actually having fun doing this.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So next one, let's go to Team William Powell. Who's that?
It's
Who's that?
this
Can
guy.
you explain your name for us a little bit?
Oh yeah, the first year I drafted William Powell on accident, and it's gonna stick with me the rest of my life.
Like,